Seth Bridges here, and I want to talk about something. I just don't understand, what the hell does this mean?
Trust in the process.
Let's get into this video.
Yeah. Man down, now it's time for the angel of death, make a cloud like rainfall. Your end, make it slow, make it painful. One ring on the back, but it's wrinkle.
All right, so I go into these. I'm part of a lot of different crypto projects, Telegrams, Discords. Some of them don't even know I'm there, and I just be looking at what's going on inside of these groups, and all you see is trusting the process. But how the hell are you trusting in any process if there's no goddamn progress? Now, here's the thing: when I created my project, I created it with the community in mind. Now, for what that means for me, first, let me say this. Most of these projects have NFT games that has games to sell NFTs. So basically, they have NFTs that they have no basis. There's no utility, no use for the NFTs, anything like that. So what they do is they slap a game onto the NFTs. What I did was I made a game and then had NFTs work around it. And then I want to give you guys the information. It's really exciting. But I promised my testers that's testing the real estate and the market part first, they will get the information first. They'll get first dips on everything that about the way we're actually going with the NFTs. Because, let's be honest, right now, people aren't too fond of them. It's because of these other projects I'm talking about. So we're still going to have NFTs and everything. Don't think that that's going away, but we have a system that's even better with NFTs. All right, so that will be presented soon, right? But I just don't understand this trust the process thing. What am I trusting if there's no progress? Now, I put out a video a few days ago about basically the progress of Mr. Abraxas. And if you've seen our website, you will see what it used to look like. And this is what it looks like now. But here's the thing. We are a foundation built on progression. Because even in the game, it's all about progression. So my thing is, I would actually drive myself insane if I was not progressing. So I don't do the trips, the partying, the buying fancy things and stuff like that. I don't give a shit about none of that stuff. I want a fun game to play. And that was the first thing in mind when I even came up with the card game idea, was to create a game that was fun to play. The card game idea, I didn't like it. And that was like way earlier in my game development time. But I didn't like the idea because it was very niche. And a lot of people in my community didn't like the card game idea. They did, even if it was an actual good game, they still wouldn't have played it. So I keep my community in mind. So I'm creating something that they want to play. It could be like a social media as well. When I mean by social media, I'm not talking about like it's like this fun game that you can just, it's happy and shit like that. I'm talking about like how Grand Theft Auto Online is. We can actually interact, sit inside of the world, see a character and talk and chill with them and stuff like that. And that's basically like social media, which is you just don't have any text, right? Even though you do have a phone on there, and we will have our own social media on the phone that you can actually see what people are saying on the social media, on the phone, and on the laptops that you go on, and the computers, because you go on laptops and desktops, whatever. But it was the game first, and the game was all built for the community, and that's the most important thing, is the community. I always include my community, which is what this testing is about, is to include them into this is the most important part of the project, and I wanted to include them into it. I gave everybody a chance to actually get in. Everyone who got in, thank you. We're going to progress even more, but you guys that are part of these other projects and they're telling you to trust the process, and you got the people inside of the group that's just drinking the Kool-Aid and tell you to trust the process, but there's no progress. Something in you telling you there's no progress going on here. there's no, like, I don't understand that. I was just sitting and looking at these projects, and I understand, like, me personally aren't marketing the project because it wasn't where I wanted it to be. Now it is. Now we're gonna be marketing it. And I understand people look like we don't have that many people here, or the community is not live, or whatever the case may be. Which I can care less about that right now, because I'd rather have the community that I have now and not have to slap things on to appease or just to make people stay or feel like they are getting something they're never going to receive. I'd rather actually build to give what I promise, and then have low numbers, and then at the end blast off and be the best thing out there. I'd rather be that versus grow quickly. I mean, I'd rather be the person that, slow growth and then blow up and take over everything versus I think I'm saying it right, versus fast growth, no plans. I just seen quick money, so I just said I'm gonna create this thing just to take advantage of a bubble, and then take advantage of people. I don't agree with taking advantage of people, so I did not want to go that route. I have people fund me. I had people give me money. I had investors, 2 of them, that gave me a lot of money to start this whole project off. Now, neither one of these investors, this is why I like my investors. Neither one of my investors bugged me. Let's hurry up and put the game out. I like that. I like that a lot. Because they both understand, first, they came to a businessman. Second, they both understand that if no one's gonna play this shit, then they lost their money anyway. So the focus is to create a fun game. So you never actually see me tell my community trust in the process, because I just do my job. They see things always being done, and I'm always showing them progress. I don't also believe in the studio just going and hiding everything from the community. I think that's disingenuous. So I like to keep everybody in the know, even if you paid for any other things that we have or not. I don't give a shit. I post it up for the world to see. I want y'all to see that we're always doing something. And the fact that it's so much work, as you can literally see, this is coming from one man. From all the work that you see from the game, the new site, how the market is about to be, when you guys see that, like, wow, it's impossible. It's impossible for one person to be doing all this. So, yeah, I just don't believe in this trust in the process bullshit, because there is no ending to this process you trusting in. They're going to keep telling you that. Trust in the process, trust in the process, trust in the process. And if they do end up having a little bit of success, it's going to end up crumbling at the end, because it's not built on anything. It's not built on anything. We wanted to make sure that we created something first where it always have an audience, which that is a story, a lore that people can fall in love with. There's going to be books and stuff like that. We're creating 2 other side projects for that actually mesh into what this project is. All these type of things to create a universe, so we can be like Star Wars and Marvel, not the woke Marvel, the old Marvel, right? So people can grow up with our product. I always said this when people ask me, what makes you stay solid? And I just say that I never really cared about just making quick millions. My focus is billions. I have children that's eventually going to have children, and that eventually will have children, and that will eventually have children, and it's a cycle. I know that. So I will not screw them over by just making a quick buck that eventually, I'm still young, by the way. I'm only 32 years old, and just a few $1 million or whatever the case may be, that can run out, because I still have time to live. So what I want to do is leave something that my oldest son can end up running, for example, where we build something that people can grow up with, people can grow and love as they grow up, and then they just see Myth Story of Abraxas, like, what is that, and test it out, and then they grow and love the franchise. And then, you know, we branch out to other things. We're working with Marvel and all these guys, and instead of working with crypto projects and stuff like that, we work with bigger brands and stuff like that. That is the goal. $1 billion stuff. None of this little, I want to make some quick little bucks to change my life and stuff like that. I understand. Times is hard for everybody. But that's the process I'm trusting in. Where the project is going to go in the future. What it's going to mean for people in the future. What people will see as this is a part of my thing. I have, in our community, we actually put our community inside of our games. They become characters inside of our games. I want them to be able to show their children and their children's children and their children's children that grandpa or grandma was once a part of a big franchise. Just think about that. If you were one of the Jedis inside of Star Wars, that's something to live with. That's something that's created a legacy. That's what we want to create for our community. I don't want to sit here and tell people trust the process because I'm sitting at bars and clubs and flying around and buying offices and all that stupid shit. I don't give a shit about that. I'm gonna come from my own home, I have my own little office in my home, and I sit at my computers and I do my work. I don't really like being around a bunch of people anyway, so I don't want to be out there, and it's very dangerous out there. Don't give a shit where you live at. It's very dangerous out there. And I live in the mountains where damn near nobody. And it's dangerous out here. Right? So I'd rather trust in the process of myself. Not me trusting the process of what I'm going to be and the mission that I'm going to take this project to. I don't understand trusting the process and there's no progress. I would go insane, like I said, if we were still at the same thing. If we were still a card game, I would have went insane. That being said, questions, comments, put them below. Like, comment, subscribe. Send this shit to your friends that's stuck in these stupid ass projects and let them see the truth. If there is no progress, and also, before I go, this is coming from a developer. It doesn't take long for a lot of the stuff that these people are promising you. I've been in these groups, and I'd be like, that right there could be done in a day. Why are you taking a month to do that? Oh, that's because you're paying people that's giving you the runaround. For example, if you buy something on Fiverr, right? If you don't know this because you're not an artist or anything, of course you won't know how this works. You buy something on Fiverr, they tell you it takes 7 days. If you knew how to do it yourself, it will only take 2 hours. Or you can do it in 7 hours, depending on what it is. Some of the coding that they would charge other people on Fiverr and stuff like that, they would say it would take 30 days for that. I'm like, man, I can do that shit in 2 hours. 5 hours, depending on what it is. I can put a whole new system inside of the game within 2 to 5 hours of work. A whole new system into the game. So even when it comes to other things, they're telling you it takes this much time because they don't have the knowledge as they say they do. Or they're just giving you the runaround. Now, which one is it? Again, keeping it tall with you guys, which is keeping it real, just in case you know. Question, comments, share this with your friends. Let them know they might be getting jerked. Don't trust in the process if you see no progress. With that being said, I'm out of here.
Name is